Okay, so we're creating a perpendicular bisector. So first of all, in order to create a perpendicular bisector, we need a line to perpendicularly bisect. So just draw a line. I don't care how long it is, just draw one. Mine is 6 centimeters. If you want to do a 6 centimeter line, rock on. Do it. I really don't care if you do a certain size or not. Doesn't matter. Don't do it really close to an edge. That's all I suggest. Don't do it really close to an edge. Alright. After you draw your line, okay, it should be a straight line, obviously. Lines are straight. All you do is you put the sharp end on the end point. Okay, sharp end on the end point. Then you open up your compass to bigger than half. So I think this is half. I'm going to go just slightly bigger than half. Okay? So now I'm going to create like a half little circle here. Okay? And I'm going to do the same thing from the other end point. Okay? And put my sharp end bigger than half. So there you go. Doesn't matter, just as long as it's bigger. It can be ridiculously bigger, which is going to make your life much harder, by the way, or it can just be slightly bigger. I choose just slightly bigger. Okay? So by the end, you should have something that looks like this. All you're doing is drawing a semicircle from each end point. Draw a semicircle from each of your end points. Okay, all I'm doing now is voila, connecting the fish, the line, like that. Where it intersect will make a perpendicular bisector, hopefully, if you drew the line right. Mine's a little bit off to the side. Anyway, it should make this segment the same length as this segment. So, since mine was 6, this should make each of those approximately 3. 3 and 3. Boom, nailed it.
Wait, say that last part again, I'm sorry.
Since it is a perpendicular bisector, it should create 2 congruent segments. For me, it is 3 and 3. Okay, we're going to do it one more time just so that we get practice doing so. This one I do want you to make a specific length. I want you to make it 2 inches.
2 inches.
Then, again, you open up your compass to slightly bigger. So, if I put my ruler over here, you can see that that's 2 inches. So if I make it just slightly bigger than 1 inch, I'm in good position here to make my semicircles. And you do it again from the other side. And connect the dots. Relatively simple task. It's how you make a 90 degree using a compass. Okay? It also perfectly cuts these two. So when you're done, for good measure, go ahead and go in there and make sure that you did it right by just measuring it out. That's 1 inch. And the other one also should be 1 inch. Okay? If you ever wanted to know how to split something in half without a ruler, this was how you would do it. Other than just touching the ends together. Okay, any questions about a perpendicular bisector? We're about to bisect an angle, so ask now before we move on. Here we go. Bisecting an angle. I want you to create a 90 degree angle. So, draw 2 straight lines. Make them 90. Yep, make a 90. We're going to split this in half, meaning that we'll make a 45-degree angle. Bless you. We're going to use the same method that we used before. We're going to create two semicircles, but they're at specific places, so we're going to go over those specific places. Does anybody need more time drawing their angle? Okay. All I need you to do right now is open your compass up a little bit. There's no specific measure, so I literally just mean a little bit. Enough to where you can create an arc that touches both sides of that angle. Okay? There's no specific measurement to it, but you don't want it to be too small. And if you make one that's huge, then you're going to end up with a lot more than what you want to work with. Okay, so go ahead and draw that arc. You don't have to keep that measurement, because we're going to change it in a second. Okay. Anybody need more time for that? Okay, now, these 2 points of intersection that I just created, here and here, I'm going to put that sharp end of my compass there. And then I'm going to open it up to slightly bigger than half. Okay, I can tell bigger than half. Okay, if you're not sure, make it a little bigger. It's fine. Okay, all we're really doing is we're going to draw that. Call it a quarter of an arc, call it what you want, but I'm just drawing that. Okay? So just make a quarter of an arc off of the bottom side. And then do the same thing off of the top side. And all we're looking for is this intersection. Right there. Okay, you have to use the same size on both of those for this to work. So don't change the size of your compass in between. Just go ahead and do it. Do you need a compass? Okay, after that I just connect the dots. I'm connecting this dot to my vertex. That should cut my angle in exactly 1/2, which would mean if I took my protractor in here and moved it over here to 45, bam, it is right on the line. Okay? Now there is a way to check this. The way I check it is instead of just drawing the small arc, I draw a half arc and then look for the intersection. The intersection should be right in line with your vertex. Okay? Just meaning that it would go through. So, if you want to draw the half circles, you are absolutely okay to do that. Okay? Now, you don't have to duplicate this. I'm just trying to show you that it doesn't matter what size you make it. If I made this a little bit smaller, but still bigger than half, then I'm just going to make a smaller half arc. It doesn't change my intersection points. If you'll notice, it still intersects at the same exact spots. Now, if I make it bigger, way out here, you should notice again that my intersections are still in line, and it makes a pretty good pattern too. Okay? So, again, it doesn't matter, it just has to be bigger than half. Okay? So we're going to practice this. Let's make an angle that is approximately 120 degrees. So if you have one like I'm using here, start with a baseline. Okay, just start with the baseline. It doesn't matter how long it is, just start with one. Okay, and put that center dot right there, open it up to 120, then stick a point through and connect those dots. Alright, take your compass, make your connections, your intersections. Again, it doesn't matter how big. Just make sure your compass doesn't slip like mine did.
120, is that what?
Yep, we're making a 120 degree angle. The only reason I'm making you measure this angle out the first time is so that when we check it, we can verify that you did it proper. Okay, after that, if you know all the steps, guys, just go ahead and rock it out and do it. Open it up to bigger than half, and then draw your arcs. Okay, again, you're just connecting this to your vertex, intersection to your vertex. And then verify that that's proper bisection by measuring it out and seeing what it says. Got that one upside down. Blam, right there, 60 on the dot. Okay, so this arc and this arc are the same thing. They are congruent, if you will. Bisected them to create two congruent angles. Any questions about bisecting an angle? That is it for the construction stuff. So if we don't have any more questions about it, you can put your compass and protractor to the side so we can start lesson 8.